Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I know it sounds super cliche, but I honestly cannot believe that 2023 is almost over. I am filming this toward the middle of December. I looked at the schedule and thought, okay, if I film this today and then a couple more videos, I will be good on videos through the rest of the year. And I didn't want to waste a makeup day because I already put it on for something else today. So this is the best of 2023. It's going to be mostly K-beauty, but not everything. Kind of an arrangement of makeup, skincare, a hair thing, just a couple interesting, seemingly random things that are still really, really good and I think worth mentioning. These are in no particular order, just the products that really made a difference and impressed me in 2023. This doesn't mean that these were 2023 new releases. They were just either new to me this year or just really, really impressed me throughout the year. The first one is the I'm From Hug Mask. It's a special edition, limited edition mix of the I'm From Honey Mask and the I'm From Fig Mask. If you haven't tried the original two, you are missing out. The Honey Mask is a really rich, luxurious, nourishing wash-off mask, and the Fig Mask is a physically exfoliating mask that's still really gentle. I love both of those. I've used them before, and apparently people used to mix them and reached out to Wishtrend and let them know that they mix them, or Wishtrend somehow caught wind of it. So Wishtrend made this limited edition hug mask, and I got my hands on 2 tubes because after the very first tube, I knew I had to have more because it's a limited edition, so I don't know when it's going to disappear. As of right now, I think it's still available, so if you're curious about it at all, please go get it because it's worth it. You put it on after cleansing and then leave it on for a while, and it has some of those fig exfoliating particles in it, but also the honey, this nourishing, lovely, lovely base. And when I wash this off, I gently massage it first a little bit without being overzealous, and then wash it off, and the skin is both exfoliated and nourished in one step, and I love it. I know physical exfoliants are not really having their moment right now. A lot of people criticize them. We all think the horror stories of the St. Ives apricot scrub from our high school years, but this is so, so, so good and so worth it, and I highly recommend you try it if you haven't. I'll put links for everything in the description box, so if you're curious about anything, or if I have a full review on my blog, you can go read more about it, you can go check out the ingredients list, etc. Next thing is this unexpected star. It's the Abib Serum Hyaluron Sunscreen. I've talked about this in one of my fails and faves videos, but obviously this is like best of the year, so a lot of these you would have seen in my fails and faves videos, but not everything. It's a super nourishing but not heavy and not greasy sunscreen that just feels like a hug to the face. I'm unfortunately out of it, but I've kept the bottle for the purposes of this video, and then to also make my huge sunscreen review video. I do those every so often and put about 20 or so sunscreens in there. You can check out the 2 that I've made so far. So this one is wonderful, no white cast, no greasiness, no stickiness, but it's especially awesome for fall and winter and maybe even spring when it's kind of cold and dry outside, but maybe you don't want to do a separate lotion step. Maybe you just want your sunscreen to be a little bit more nourishing than it is in the summer. However, I finished this in the summer and it still worked just fine then as well. So it's just a really awesome, I think universally nice product that should hopefully work for all skin types and all skin tones. I'm not the best to judge about white cast because I'm so fair, but I don't think this one would have a white cast on most people. If you're not new to my channel, you probably already know that I do a ton of nail videos, nail tutorials. Most of them are for Korean brands, but not everything. And I've been a Dashing Diva user for a while. However, this year I am super duper impressed with one specific offering from Dashing Diva, and it's their Magic Press, the peel and stick nails, but specifically the velvet ones. This is one of the colors. They come in different colors, but all of the velvet nails have this shimmery, glittery kind of element to them. I haven't tried this color yet. This is the brand new package. I buy these all with my own money. This is not PR or anything, but I've had the dark deep blue and I've had the silver. They have the short and the mediums. Medium nails are usually for me kind of too long for my liking. However, I'm willing to make an exception for this design or this type of nail because they're so gorgeous. And I have done this. I tried this when the set was toward the end of its life, kind of on the hands. I was really afraid to ruin it, so I waited until it was almost ready to come off and actually tried snipping the almond tips, the ones that make them actually long, and then filing and making them more of a short squoval shape, and that worked really well. So I might just do that with these right when I apply them, just make them shorter because that's what I prefer. But regardless of your length preference, these are absolutely stunning. Videos do not make them justice. They shine beautifully in the sunlight. I love, 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 love these, and they're so easy to apply. I have a video actually specifically applying the velvet nails. If you want to see those, I'll put a link in the description. And in that video, I talk about how Dashing Diva tried to become an MLM this year, which was a fun little little fiasco, but they thankfully abandoned the idea. But there's a lot of tea there, and the guy that they hired for that, and all the drama he caused, and then how Dashing Diva had to publicly say they cut ties with him because people were just horrified with some of the stuff the guy said. So anyway, if you want some tea, I have 2 videos about the Dashing Diva MLM fiasco. I have the original one and then the update, and one of those videos is a chatty application of the Dashing Diva Velvet. This product was not new to me this year, but I've bought it this year, or got it this year for the first time in years, since having it ages ago. And it's still just as good as I remember. They changed the applicator, but that's okay. The formula feels the same, and I already have a brand new full size of this because I can't go without it. It is the Petitfee Super Seed Lip Oil. It's such a beautiful formula. It is more nourishing than any lip mask I've ever tried. But if you are a lip mask person, or you're using CeraVe healing ointment on your lips or anything else, and if that's not quite enough, because all of those are petroleum-based occlusives that are meant to kind of seal in the moisture and hydration in your skin. If your skin is so dry that there's no hydration to seal in, add this before your mask, and it's amazing. But I honestly just use it by itself. Day or night doesn't matter. They make a different version that's pink, that's plumping. I do have that. I haven't tried that yet, but I will be trying that and posting a review. But this one of my absolute favorite lip products. So good. I don't know why it doesn't get more hype. It's so much better to me than the Laneige sleep mask, for example. So definitely worth a try if you want to try a lip oil. This guy I started using last year, but it really shined this year, and it's the Kirkland brand Minoxidil 5%, brand name Rogaine. The Kirkland brand works just as well, feels the same, goes on the same. It's a foam. Behaves just like Rogaine to me, but costs way less. I buy this 6 at a time and use it every single night. I have female pattern hair loss, like androgenetic alopecia, whatever you want to call it. It's female pattern balding. It's not a sexy term, but it is very common, and more people should talk about it. This was able to stop it and reverse it. It was not a fun adjustment period because for a while, and it's supposed to work that way, but for a while the hair loss actually kind of worsens because all of your hairs, their growth cycles sink in. So whatever you're going to shed over the next couple of months, you kind of shed all at once. But once you make it through that, the effects are really worth it. My hair is still fine and thin. Nothing to be done about that. That's just genetic. It's always been like that. However, there's so much more of it now, and it's back to how it normally was before I started losing it. There are some other things that I do for hair growth, thickness, whatever. I have 2 videos on hair loss on the channel that you can check out. But if I had to just go with one thing, if I could only keep one thing out of all the stuff that I do for my hair, this would be it. I would keep this because it's made the biggest difference with the least amount of effort. It's just a 1 time a day application before bed, and that's it. Next is this Jumiso Vitamin C. It's the firming one. Jumiso has several different vitamin C serums for different skin concerns. This one specifically is kind of the best if your goal is to address some of the early signs of aging or just to do pro-aging. I don't like the term anti-aging, but I know people use it, so I guess you can call it anti-aging if you want. It has ferulic acid, tocopherol, and bakuchiol in it. Because of its texture and because I have more time in the evenings to devote to skincare, I was using this before bed. I love it. I do feel like I see a difference when I use it. The skin does appear a little firmer and such, and it's such a unique product because when I think of vitamin C serum, I always think of something to use in the morning to boost the effectiveness of sunscreen, and then to have this vitamin C serum that is focusing on more anti-aging benefits was really interesting to me. And maybe there are other products like it, I don't know, but it's the first one that I've had and I really love it. And actually Jumiso entirely as a brand is one of my favorite things of 2023 because they make such awesome, awesome, awesome products. Totally, totally worth a try if you've never had Jumiso. I honestly waited way too long to try them, and then a couple of different collabs landed in my lap and I fell in love and never looked back. And now I always use something by Jumiso at all times. I have a non-Korean makeup item, and both of those things are really unique because for me to have a non-Korean favorite, it's already kind of out of the norm for me just because I get a fair amount of PR, I do a lot of collaborations, etc. So I naturally have a lot of Korean skincare and makeup, and that's what I tend to use. And then to actually have a makeup favorite is another sort of unusual thing because I'm not very into makeup, I'm not very good at makeup. The only time I put makeup on usually is for filming, and my daily makeup look for like work is powder, mascara, and sometimes a little blush and sometimes a little lip product. It's not fancy at all, but this TikTok got to me. I don't even know what to say. FOMO got to me. This is the Hourglass Ambient palette. It's a special edition. If you're at all into beauty, makeup, whatever, you've probably seen these all over your social media. I'm a total noob. This was the first year I've ever seen them, but apparently Hourglass makes them, makes the special edition ones every year. And they come in 3 different variations. There's this jellyfish, and then I think snake and leopard. And they kind of go with different skin tones. So this jellyfish one is for the pale people like myself, and that's the one I picked up. This was definitely a splurge for me. I paid for it with my own money. I got a coupon, whatever, but it comes with 6 things: 2 blushes, 2 finishing powders, a bronzer, and a highlighter. Have I ever owned a bronzer in my entire life? No. Do I know how to use it? Not really. But honestly, the first time I put on a little bronzer very, very timidly, and I'm actually wearing some of the stuff now, and maybe it looks like I fell face first into a paint bucket. I don't really know how it's going to translate on video. We'll see. I like it in real life. I look at myself in the mirror. I like it. But the very first time I used bronzer from this, I thought, wow, I look like I'm actually alive and maybe get the recommended 8 hours of sleep and not the interrupted 5 that I typically get at night. I love the blushes. I love the finishing powders. I even went ahead and bought the little triangle powder poofs that are so popular right now. You know, so I can more precisely apply the finishing powder instead of taking the huge brush and just going at it all over my face. Really, really, really like it. The case is aluminum and it's made from reclaimed materials, if I remember correctly. Not a lot of people talk about that, but I saw something about that on their website when I was writing the review for this. Anyway, I'm so pleased with this. It's baked makeup, it is very finely milled, and I've seen a lot of people online say that they've had the prior year's palettes for ages and ages. They use them every day and it barely shows any use, that these will last for a long time. So I've been really trying to use this regularly and not just sit on it. So I reached out for this today. We had a concert to go to and I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Highly recommend it. No buyer's remorse here. And I don't know. Maybe I'll buy one next year, but probably I'll just be trying to use this one while I have it. Next is I'm From Mushroom Collagen Cream. This line, I feel like, didn't get a lot of publicity. I mean, I've seen the sponsored reviews or the barter reviews or reviews from affiliates like myself, but I haven't seen a lot of just kind of spontaneous user-generated content about it. I haven't seen people ask about it in my group at all. But I feel like this cream specifically is such a star. It's a great moisturizer. It feels so nice. It's very, very nourishing, but it's not greasy or sticky. And in fact, it is such a good moisturizer that my mom ended up taking it and finishing the jar. But I asked her to please give me back the empty jar when she's done, because I wanted to make sure to include it in this video. It's a great moisturizer. I would happily get it again. I got to use about half a jar of it, and it's really nice. I use it in the evenings. I don't know what else to say about it. Yes, there's mushroom stuff in it, and I have a detailed review about the specific star ingredients in it, but honestly, it's just a really nice cream, and it feels fantastic, and the user experience with this and the results of just glowy, moisturized skin is what made me keep reaching for it. Next is this little guy, and I've been using it a lot, and you can't even tell. This is the Heimish Marine Care Eye Cream. It smells really good. It smells like, I don't know, expensive cologne, kind of. It smells so good. Yeah, definitely like sea sort of vibe for the smell, but not in a cheap, overwhelming way, like Bath and Body Works hand soap smell. It's very sophisticated. Anyway, that's what it looks like after using it a whole bunch. It's very rich, so I literally use a drop, and it comes with a really nice applicator with a metal tip, so you can kind of massage the eye area after applying this. And if you're somebody who applies this in the mornings, maybe you have really dry under eyes, that little cool metal massager could also help depuff your eyes. Because I have hooded, oily eyelids, I don't use any eye creams in the morning. Sometimes I'll do an eye gel if I have any on hand, but typically I don't put anything on my eyelids except for sunscreen. So this is my evening moisturizer for the eyes. It can be used all over the face, and I honestly might have to go that route to finish this off during the recommended period after opening, which is usually 12 months, because I don't know that I could use this whole thing. This is 30 milliliters on my eye area specifically in a year, because it's just that rich, and because I also test other eye products. But this would also be great on the neck and chest, just kind of any area where the skin is thinner and drier and just needs extra nourishment. Love it. I have some other products from this line. I've just started using the toner and it's good, but I think I have like the face cream from that as well, and I need to go open that, because what if it's just as good as this one, then I can use it all over the face. Okay, trigger warning. If you don't like talking about body hair, like fast forward like 4 minutes or something. I don't know, fast forward a couple minutes. I only have 2 products left. This is the penultimate, the second to last, and it's the funniest one, and I'm gonna spare you the worst of the pictures, okay? But this is Harmonic Nose Hair Wax Kit, okay? It looks like this, I bought it on Amazon with my own money. Obviously it's targeted to men. Inside you get one of these things that you put water in, and then these little disposable cups. So you take this, put water in it, either cold or boiling, set one of the cups in there, and then add the little wax beads. And if you did the hot boiling water, then you just let the whole thing sit until the wax melts. If you did the cold water, then you put the whole thing in the microwave, and they have instructions on there. So you melt the wax beads, and then once they're melted, you take these things, these are little sticks, okay, and you dip this end into the wax and kind of roll it around, make a little wax pyramid, and then you stick the wax pyramid in your nostrils, wait a couple of minutes, and then yank it out, okay? It sounds barbaric. It sounds like it would hurt so bad. I got this for my spouse, who has very thick, very coarse black hair, to a point where when he goes to get a haircut, they thin out his hair because it's that thick. And unfortunately that translates into some awesome nostril action, okay? And the little trimmers, they weren't really doing things, and he didn't like me like reaching up and yanking them as a surprise. He didn't love that. And just for reference, this is the man who absolutely thought getting his eyebrows threaded was the worst pain ever, okay? He's not into that kind of thing. Like squeezing a pimple, absolutely not. He can't take the pain, and yet he was willing to try these, and surprisingly, these do not hurt. I have tried them myself as well because I was curious. I mean, I don't have like the nose jungle situation happening, but I wanted to try and just see how it is. And surprisingly enough, it doesn't hurt. And it's really counterintuitive, because I think waxing eyebrows hurts. I think epilating hurts. I think tweezing hurts. I can take all of that pain, but I do think that those things are painful. And the fact that yanking all of your nose hair at the same time for some reason is not painful just boggles my mind, but it's not. If you're going to do this on yourself, couple tips. One, definitely make sure you wait the needed 2 minutes, because the worst is when you pull that thing and the wax was still wet and only the applicator comes out and the wax still stays in. Not fun. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, exhale when you do it. Take a deep breath and then go and yank one at a time, okay? The first time I did it, I made a mistake of asking my husband to pull them out, and he thought slower meant it will not hurt. I'll just go slow. Terrible. Don't do that. If you do it real quick, no big deal, and it's awesome. And I've had 0 adverse reactions, and it makes for really fun after pictures that I'm going to spare you, but let's just say it looks like paintbrushes, okay? So definitely worth it. If you have anybody in your life who is tired of nose trimmers, get them this kit. It's amazing. I think we used it like 3 or 4 times each, so 6 to 8 times. I still haven't even cracked into the second bag of little wax beads. There are 2 bags of wax beads and 2 bags of these. This is my partially used one, and then there's a full one. So there's a ton in here, and I'll probably run out of the little applicators before we run out of wax, to be honest. The last but not least, so good. Way underrated product, and I honestly knew nothing about it. It sat in my crate to try for ages and ages, and then it was coming close to expiration date, and I thought, oh, I should use this. It's Mizon Cicaluronic Cleansing Balm. It's all out. Unfortunately, I just kept the jar because I wanted to use it in a couple of videos. It is so good. It smells fantastic. It takes off all makeup. It doesn't irritate the eyes. It doesn't dry out the skin. Again, it smells fantastic. Its scent, honestly, is one of its best features. Even though it's a great balm, like, it works really well. But there are other balms that work just as well, but they don't feel as nice. They don't feel as luxuriously melty, and they don't smell as good. And so they don't stand out the way this one does. I don't know why this one doesn't get more hyped. It's very underrated, very underrated. So please try it if you're in the market for a cleansing balm and if your skin can tolerate fragrance. Once you rinse it off, the scent goes away as well, but just during use, it smells like the most expensive perfume. I don't know, it's so nice. I love it. I want more of this immediately. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please share your own favorites of 2023. I will also have the worst of 2023 video coming up soon as well, so stick around for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and leave me a comment, leave me a like. That really helps my channel. I would love to reach more people. I'd love to have more engagement. Authentic engagement, not for the purposes of the algorithm, because I learned so much from the comments. That's how I found some of my favorite nail brands. That's how I learned about some of the best tips and tricks. So please, if you have any advice or if you have a question, please leave me a comment. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group Korean Beauty Fanatics. I'll see you in my next video, and until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much.